Hello, you metal pilgrims, and welcome to the new interview episode with our today's guest Zoli Farkas, the frontman of the Hungarian thrash metal band Ektomorf. Zoli and I will be speaking about the band's upcoming studio release Reborn, going back to the thrash roots, the big four, his biggest influences, and much, much more. But as always, before we start, I'd like to take a moment and invite you to join the conversation and subscribe to Metal Pilgrim channel on YouTube, join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, or any other social media you actually hang out at to submit your questions for all future interview guests. Stay tuned with the updates and be the very first ones to find out what is inside the upcoming rock and metal releases. Here you go. Hey, how's it going, man?
Everything is cool, man.
Yeah.
How's it with you?
Oh, it's good. Just finally got, looks like winter over here. Finally got some snow, so kids can enjoy it. You know, I have a 3-year-old daughter, so she finally got to sleigh down.
Cool.
Yeah. How are things in Hungary and with all the lockdowns and everything?
It's the same. Like I think, like everywhere, it's strict rules. Curfew at 8 o'clock, and which I don't keep. I go out, man. I don't give a fuck, really. I go out, you know. Yeah. If I need to go out, I go, and if they stop me, then they do. I don't care. I go out, and mask on the street, and 7 o'clock, everything is closed. So it's
the
like
same like everywhere, yeah. Most likely.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, but about the music, man, there's some good news. Ektomorf's new studio album, man, is Reborn, is about to drop on January 22nd, just a couple of days from today, man. Congrats on finishing it up, regardless of the curfews. Could you speak a bit about the, its writing process? When did it all start, and how did it evolve into this piece that we know today?
Right, writing process started not much longer after the preview album, Fury, came out. You know, it's just, I just felt like right away I need to write some riffs and stuffs, and actually I had 14 songs, and we ended up with 8.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how it came out, and then 2019, the 29th of August, we entered the studio. And that's when recording started. But actually, the recording, the writing process was like pretty longer than usual, and I paid more attention on everything. Not like because I wanted to do, something really different. It's just I felt this time like this, like to pay more attention on the structure of the song, make it more complex, not too complex, but more complex than what we had before. So, yeah, it's been the longest writing process of an album in the Ektomorf history.
Yeah, so you wanted to really polish it, right? And speaking about the musical composition of the album itself, right? I was able to listen to it a bit earlier than most others, I guess. But and I gotta say, man, I enjoyed it a lot. Like it's been on repeat on my album, on my playlist for a couple of days now.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great job on this one, man. And while on your later records, some would characterize your musical style as a mix of thrash metal, groove metal, and some, like new metal at some point even, right? I feel like on this one, thrash metal prevailed, and maybe that's why I personally enjoyed it a little bit more. And in some places you even lean towards like this big four kind of classical sound. I mean, do you agree with something like this? And if so, has it been done on purpose?
100%, I agree. It is on purpose. Yeah, I'm an old school guy. I'm 45 years old, so I grew up on the big four, on thrash metal, and also other thrash metal bands, not only the big four, but especially Metallica. That's my favorite ever and always will be. And I just went back there, and that's how this came. And you hear it pretty good. I'm glad that you said what you said, because I never write an album like it. This is what I want the people to feel like what you just said. But this is how it came out in the end, and actually this is pretty good what you said. So yeah, it is a I would say it's a modern thrash metal album, but based on the old school elements, like the clean guitar parts, guitar solos in every song, like even harmonies which we never had before, but keep the heaviness with what Ektomorf always had, because we always been a heavy band and always gonna be. It's just now in a different way, and actually I do another interview since I don't know 3 weeks now, and it's so cool that all the feedbacks are positive. It's awesome. Actually, this album got the most positive reactions in the 26 years I'm doing this, so it's cool.
That means you're doing something right, man. So congrats on this one.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's true, man. Yeah, I'm a huge Metallica fan myself, right? I travel around the world for Metallica. That's where Pilgrim actually comes in a in a channel name
awesome.
From. Yeah, and you are the main composer, right? I mean, you've always been. It's been kind of your band. But how much input do you personally take from other band members? I mean, in terms of the writing process.
It goes like this. I sit down with the guitar, I jam, and with the modern, computer stuff, you can really put together a basic demo which already sounds like pretty much close to the album quality. So when I'm done with this, I just send it to the other guys, and they listen to it, they learn it. Then we go to the band room, and then everyone is playing it, and then we find out what they really play like as it is on the demo, or what they just heard like is, we just make everything fine. And if there's something comes up from any of them, which sounds cool and it's just great, then we will put it in. And it come out in the band room, but also at the recording in the studio, because there still, that's the last chance to change anything. I mean, even after the mix these days you can change a lot of things, but but doesn't matter. I mean, if someone's got a good idea after when the songs are done, it's cool. It's welcome. But I write the songs, and the basic structure of the song, they're always without vocals. It's really rare that I give a song for the guys which has vocals already. And the vocals, the lyrics, I always put in the studio.
Okay, makes sense. And speaking about the lyrics, actually, what are some lyrical themes that are running throughout the album?
Well, it's always about what I go through in my life, and the last 2 years been pretty dark. It wasn't too pleasant, whatever. It was pretty heavy, and these feelings, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, I just put in this album, in the lyrics, in the music. Yeah. And I think this album is more emotional on some way, on the good way, but it still have a lot of anger and a lot of darkness, but still also bring that, let's say like a brand that what Ektomorf already brings for many years, that it is, just heavy and makes you feel better when you have a bad time in your life. I already got some, feedbacks like this from fans who already heard some of them the album.
Oh, that's good. And how much do you think this madness around the world, with all the pandemics and all the stuff that's going on in the US and everywhere, actually affect, the overall, sound and the atmosphere of the album? Did it at all?
No, because when I was writing the album, this shit wasn't there. And when we recorded the album, also, to 2019, August 29th, there was no fucking
no one knew anything about it yet. Yeah. Okay.
So for the next one, definitely.
Are you actually planning the next one already?
No, and it's kind of strange for me, because I always write pretty early. Like I wrote this album when the new album, when Fury was just out, the preview album, but right now, because it's been a long time, and when I signed it with Napalm Records, they were already suggesting to switch the planned release date. We were planning with my ex-record company, that was for May, and they said no, it should be 2021 January, and so everything kind of made me plan everything, you know, longer. And then, so I was not really caring about writing new stuff. I sit down, play guitars. Mostly I'm learning these songs, because these songs are, they have to be played very well, man. If you listen to this album, it, you know, the palm muting on the guitar, all the riffs are not like those songs before. Like, I love Outkast, I Know Them, and all these stuffs, you know, and always will, and we're always gonna play. But for example, Reborn or Smashing the Past, or all these other songs are more, needs more, you know, more practicing on the guitar, which is cool.
It's true.
I got time now to practice, and I love it.
Yeah.
And also, when I wrote this album, I, you know, found out how awesome to play guitar more than I did actually all these years before. And you know, it's never too late. And you can hear it on the album. All the solos, you know, all the harmonies. Was awesome to work on harmonies, for example, you know, we never had before. They sound cool, and I love them. But this has to be played very well, especially in live.
That's true. That's true. And you got to practice a lot, man. Yeah.
If it doesn't play well, then it's gonna sound horrible.
It's true. It's one of those hit or miss. It's either fans are gonna love it live, or they're gonna, you know, hate it because, I mean, it doesn't sound anything like it did in the studio, right? And actually, do you have a favorite track from the record?
A what? I don't.
A favorite track.
A favorite track. It's hard, man, because, you know, it's only 8 songs, and actually these songs are really linked to each other. When you listen to the album, you hear that. When you listen to the album, you hear that these songs are, you know, I worked a lot in my head to how to put them in the track list. So I love really all of them, and you know, my favorites are changing. I don't know, week to week, but I think right now I would say it's Reborn.
Okay.
Because it just has everything what shows the character of this new album, you know. And so Reborn is my favorite right now, but it could change to The Worst Yet to Come tomorrow, you know, or Forsaken. Forsaken.
This is mine. I gotta tell you, man, first time I heard it, I was like, oh, please don't insert any vocals here. Not because I don't like your voice, but because I felt like it would be a perfect instrumental piece, you know, from the intro until the very end. I actually enjoyed it a lot. This is the one standing out track for me for some reason, man. Yeah.
You know, it's actually started for I wanted to write like a ballad. You know, like a ballad, and I was like more than halfway down. And it sounded pretty good. We never had a ballad before, and but then I just thought, you know, no, it's not the time for this song. And then, but the next day when I started to work again in the studio, I was like, but this subject, which is the song is about, it's still cool. And then let's do everything with the instruments, you know, just with the guitar, with the melodies, harmonies, and it worked out, and it became fucking 7 minutes long, man. And
it's amazing. As I said, this is my favorite track on the record because it has everything you want, right? I mean, it has slower parts, it has, you know, classic thrash metal there, speedy stuff, heavy stuff. Just it has. I can say that it has a lot of emotion put in to, you know, while writing it. This is just
that song is pretty much, and this classical guitar part in the middle you hear. I wrote the stuff, I guess, when I was 15 or 16 years old. Yeah, and I always played it, but I never put it, you know, in not any Ektomorf song. I just, when I was jamming on an acoustic guitar, on a classical guitar, and I had this song, got it down, and this clean part was not in the song. The same with Reborn, there was no clean part before when the song was done, and I just, you know, got it in the middle, in the Logic session, and then I just was like, you know, what to play with the idea to put this clean part in, and I did, and it sounds good.
Yeah,
and I'm happy to like it because most of the interviewers they picked it out.
Yeah, that's
very
good,
much.
Man. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And you know, while we were talking about, you know, other guys in the band, you know, Ektomorf, throughout your career, you guys went through, you know, several lineup changes, right? I mean, since the last album, you've also invited a new drummer, Attila, you know, a new bass player you have, and, you know, the rest of the guys aren't for that long in the band as well. But do you feel about how do you feel about the current Ektomorf lineup? I mean, do you think this is the strongest team you've ever had?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. You know, and we're having a good time with these
the
guys.
atmosphere is good.
And unfortunately, we can't meet too much because what's going on. But you know, I mean, lineup changes. Lineup changes the subject that came up to every band, even to Metallica.
Yeah.
You know, and if you watch for example, Machine Head, that was like the last one was pretty big. You know, like, and this can happen, man. You know, this you can have things like, you don't agree with the other guy on this or on that or whatever, musically, personally, and it's going on. And if it's happening, then it's happening. Then, of course, that I hope that what we have now is going to go on for a long time, and I'm open for that, and go on with this, and especially because of this new album. But lineup changes is the thing that it happens to. I can't really pick out one band that it didn't happen.
It's like working at a company, right? I mean, if it's a corporation
or like a relationship,
or a relationship, absolutely, yeah. I mean, things change, and this is okay, right? As long as the overall body is still going, then yeah.
Mainly the fans, which I don't blame anyone on this. They think that when they get into a band and they saw those 4 or 3 or 5 or 6 or 9 other guys in the band, they think this is what I love, and then something happens and someone leaves or more people leaves, and then they take it like why and how, and the one who stayed get blamed or the one who left get blamed. It's just like, I don't blame them from this, but they're not in the band. They don't know what's going on in the band. But if we do a simple comparison, that's a relationship. If it's not going well, it's better quit.
Exactly. Why would you make someone suffer, and just for the sake of staying in
Exactly.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But I'm glad to hear the atmosphere is good now. That means the creative process is there, and hopefully you guys will be able to to go on the road soon. You and all the other bands, actually, because I believe that rock and roll and metal lives in clubs and festivals, not in digital world. Absolutely. Actually, any plans on supporting the album with live shows for next year? Or for this year?
Because when we signed with Napalm Records, we also signed to Napalm events, and we already had plans. And actually, we're supposed to be on the road in April, but that's not going to happen. We all know why. Yeah. So we switched the whole thing to October as a European headliner round. Is the first one, and we see what's gonna happen. If it's going to happen or if it's not, I don't know, man. We will see. Of course, that we hope for it. If not, then we already planning for 2022. So
yeah, absolutely. Hope you guys will be able to make it to Kiev. If not, I'll catch you somewhere, somewhere in Europe or somewhere else. Out there, man. Any plans? By the way, since I asked already about this, would you ever consider, a live show online to kick off the album, or not really?
We got some plans about that. Napalm already asked, and working on it. We looked for a new platform of live, because we did one. Yeah. It became really good, but that was just with a very simple thing like a GoPro and connected to some online thing, and it worked out pretty good. A lot of people watched. The second one is not, because we had a lot of technical problems. We started 5 times again and again, and it didn't work. And so if we're doing like a full album playing through, when I play the album live in a live stream, which would be actually cool if we already can go on tour. That's gonna be on some really cool new stuff that we never did before, like some cool online stuff. I don't know what, my manager already sent me something. I checked it out, and they just have to sign in there, and then everything works with the cameras and stuff like that. Also the sound, which is very important.
Absolutely, yeah.
We will see. Maybe we will do it. We're planning it. Yeah.
Okay. And the next question, I'm conscious of your time, so I don't wanna keep you too long here, man. But the next question you kind of already answered, so I can assume it would be Metallica, but maybe you would actually change it. But is there one band you would absolutely die for to play on stage with? I mean, someone you would really, really want to perform live with?
It's Metallica, man.
I knew it.
It is. I mean, I could say other bands as well, but if there is one, then it's Metallica. You know, I think that's for me. You know, I don't know even if I could speak if James Hetfield would stand in front of me, man. I don't know, but you know, I mean, I already had, you know, tours down with my heroes. For example, Kreator.
Okay.
Like you know, we toured in 2005 with Kreator, and it was insane, man. Because I also grew up on Kreator, you know, and touring with that band, and you know, having like cool conversations and parties and stuff like that together, and we're still friends. I mean,
that's good.
You know, we just talked yesterday, and he's waiting for the new album, and that's for me like a fucking big thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, and we already played on festivals with we played on the same stage, you know, like with Slayer, Slipknot, you know, even Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And you know, see these guys, Judas Priest, see these guys, you know, and be close to them, and even talk to some of them. It's so awesome, man.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So, but going on tour with Metallica, I would die for that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Makes sense. And now switching to the other side. What is your guilty pleasure in terms of music if it's not metal? I mean, what do you blast when you're wasted? Like Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, freaking, I don't know, Justin Bieber.
Well, these stuffs you say, I'm serious to say that I'm just not into. You know, I never been, but I listen to classical music. I really like Bach. It has something that, I don't know, man. It's just kind of like metal, but it's not, because it's not. But pop music, I don't know, man. I never really been into, you know.
That's good. I mean, you're a true metalhead then, I guess.
I am.
That's true. Alright, man, and the last one for today. This is something we usually do to close the episode, and I'm really curious to hear your story. Is there one crazy-ass, messed up story from your touring life which you can share with us? Or just one show that got stuck in your head which you cannot forget, you know, that is very memorable for you, man?
I mean, there's so many. I mean, I'm doing this for 26 years.
Yeah? So,
but pick up one, I mean, if I just pick one from the Kreator tour, it was, we played in it's not so crazy, but it was pretty, like for me, like a learning process there at the tour, because we played in Athens in Greece with Kreator, and there was 5 men on the bill for the whole tour, but for the two show, Thessaloniki and Athens, it was only Kreator and Ektomorf, and so we gone on the stage, and you know, there was like 2,000 maniac Kreator, you know, and we're going on, and we had to play 60 minutes. On the other shows, when we came back to Germany and stuff like that, then it was only 35 minutes with the other 5. But that 2 shows, it was 60 minutes. And so we hit the stage, we started to play, and after 3 songs on the row, like bam, 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 like we always do. And then, you know, close the song, and we hear this big noise, wow, at the crowd. And I said, damn, fuck, man, we're doing fucking good. But then, you know, it got clean. The whole thing, and my ear got clean, and I heard that it was not Ektomorf, it was Kreator. And then one guy just gave me the finger from the first row, and I gave it back to him like this. Fuck you too, man. You know, whatever. You know, I didn't care. And then when we finished the show, which was not too pleasant, you know, with the crowd who wanted to see the headliner, you know, die hard.
Yeah.
And so we coming down on stage, and the tour manager came to me and he said, "Hey, if I was you, I wouldn't go on that door. I would go on the back, because they're waiting for you. They want to kill you."
Shit, seriously?
That guy and his friends, and I was like, "Fuck, man." So that's one of the stories, but there was more. But this kind of like stuff, and I learned from it, you know, how to handle things like this.
Yeah, I guess it's really hard to, you know, open for a band like Kreator or someone like that who has very, very die-hard fans around the world, right? And those guys usually, if they go to see Kreator, I mean, they go to see Kreator. And this is true. I saw Iron Maiden in Costa Rica once, in Latin America, and you know, I felt really sorry for the guys who were opening for them, because it happened for like 60 to 70,000 people or something like that at the stadium, were just you know, waiting for the headliner while the guys were actually amazing. Like, I actually enjoyed their music a lot, man.
It's a tough job, man, but it's worth it.
But it's worth it. It's the experience that you get, and you know, it will make you stronger. And you know, you will still gain new fans no matter what. And this is absolutely amazing, man. All right, Zoli, thanks a lot for your time, bro. Any last message for the fans, for your old ones and the new ones who are going to be watching you?
Well, first of all, the new album is coming out 22nd of January, which is pretty close.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are gonna check it out, everybody, and you're gonna enjoy the album. And I just really hope that very soon we're gonna see you guys on the road.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A reminder again: Ektomorf's Reborn out January 22nd. Make sure you check it out. It's a great thrash metal album. And Zoli, thanks a lot for your time, bro. I hope to see you live either in Kiev or anywhere else very soon, bro. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Hey.